Oh, hello. We get a POV of you. Interesting. Thorn gazed around at the underground passage Gal was guiding him through. Yes, I see you made quite a place for yourself, old friend. But shouldn't I be on my way? I didn't build this. Really? Thorn was getting a bit annoyed. Planned for him to leave this morning before the monsters made their move, but right before he was going to head out, Gal said he needed him for something. Could barely object. They had been friends for many years, and Gal had helped him bring his dream to fruition. But couldn't this wait until after Gal had taken over Memora? But Gal was silent as they walked through the dark dirt tunnels. Finally, a light appeared ahead. They entered a room that looked like an unusual sort of home, though the only normal furniture was a table and a chair. There were many metal cables spread out across the room, quite a few of them laid outward into the darkness of other tunnels. Thankfully, there was a female monster, bright eyes and an even brighter smile. Hello, Mr. Thorn. I've heard a lot about you from Gal. My name is Insidia. Would you sit? Charmed, and thank you. Sat down and looked around in puzzlement. One thing he noticed was the cables all seemed to be connected to the inside, or to this Insidia monster standing before him. So much metal. So, what's with all this metal you need from... Oh, is this what all the metal you needed from me was for? Thorn addressed Gal, spreading his arms wide to indicate the room and, in part, Insidia. He, however, stayed silent and watched both of them with expressionless eyes. Indeed, my good sir. A friend here requires flesh to grow, require metal. You'll find that I am superior to others of my kin in that regard. That is why I am what you might call the leader. Oh, so you're the mastermind. I guess you could put it that way. Father has given me the task of leading the invasion that will result in Memoria's downfall. Leader? Well, you thought Gal was the first monster. That one for whom he had to give sacrifices. But this place, those metal cables were part of Insidia's body. Could she actually see the whole city? Well, we knew Memoria's downfall was imminent, but who cares how it came about? And may I salute you in a plan well executed. Thank you. Quite the charmer, isn't he? Gal didn't respond, and Insidia acted as though she hadn't expected him to. I do have to ask, though, why am I here? I can assure you the factory is safe, even if the Guardians get past the monsters you have sent to guard the product. I have it rigged so that they cannot get to the basement. I have done my part, have I not? Well, we brought you here to talk about the last sacrifice made to Gal. You see, he got away. He went to the police. Thorn laughed at that. Oh, did he? Well, he'll be dead soon anyway. Not like it'll affect your plans, right? You see, we're rather disappointed in you, Mr. Thorn. I do apologize, but can't this wait until later? Mrs. Nightingale is waiting for me. She is already dead. Ooh, that's interesting. Do you mind asking me how and why she died? Thorn froze. Gal cackled. Honestly, the stupidity of humans amazes me sometimes. Well, hopefully you'll take care of good old Thorny there, 'cause definitely been a thorn in my side, and definitely like for him to get plucked out soon. Anyway, we're going back to Samara. And we've definitely seen a lot more of these characters than we were with Jared. I mean, not really complaining, so... After the factory was cleared out, Samara went to meet up with Warren. He saw her ash and grime on her uniform. He looked shocked and ran over. You okay? What happened? Thor was definitely hiding something. Explained the basement exploding, monsters infested the factory, and they're apparently human origins. They can take over humans? It looked like an idea sparked in his head. Are you hurt? No. Thankfully a couple of other Guardians showed up and helped me. How about you? Did anything happen at the orphanage? Miss Nightingale has also disappeared. Does say she went on vacation. Personally, I think she was involved. I don't have any evidence to back that up, though. It's possible. If what Mr. Vaughn said is true, then she might have helped Thorn pick out sacrifices. Despicable. Poor children. Samara noticed a dark blot in the distance, like a shadow on the city. Didn't notice any clouds though. What? Ron turned to look. Hara's eyes widened. The strange shadow was a horde of monsters, as far as the eye could see. It's beginning... Uh-oh. Well, it was nice knowing your ears, but... we're all kind of fucked. Great, Warren's point. Yay. Okay, this is not how I was expecting it to start. Warren and Samara both sent out a red alert on their communicators. So what other guys must have seen the shadow coming, because a lot of them came to help. Everyone ready their light bearers and charged. When the Guardians and monsters collided, it was like a wave crushing against the shore. So many more than he could have imagined. Truly a full-scale war now. At this rate, the monsters would overthrow them before they had a chance to even learn what their plan was. Ron dispatched monsters left and right, Samara at his side, but there was no end to them. Several minutes passed and the horde didn't let up at all. Ron decided he'd have to take drastic action. Quickly left the fight, yelling for Samara to cover him. Samara called out to Warren as he ran, but he didn't hear her. Just where was he going? Samara knew he wasn't one to run away from the fight. He had a bad feeling about this. Quickly greeted a blast of light, scaring a great number of monsters, and left to run after Warren. Felt bad for the Guardians left to fight the horde, but she was really worried about Warren. No, cute. She ran through the streets looking for any sign of him. She passed by one of the hand statue entrances to the underground base. She noticed it was just now closing. I quickly changed direction and went into the base. She was able to see him moving through the corridors far ahead of her, just enough to see where he was going. Followed him until he stopped in a particular room. What are you doing? I stared at Warren in shock. There was other weapons at the Guardian's disposal besides the light bearers. Some of them were for fighting enemies or for crowds of monsters. They were difficult to carry and unwieldy to use, so Guardians didn't take them with them regularly. She would have understood if he came here to grab one of those. But the thing is, his hand was hovering above. It was a button to set off what was basically a bomb that would blow up a fifth of Memoria. Oh, you motherfucker. Seriously? I knew you were a fucking coward, but come on, dude, seriously? All swarming this area. We can just decide to do that on your own? Then stay with me, Samara. Samara fluently he shouted. Too many of them, and we don't have the time or resources to fight them like this. But there's still people there, not just monsters. Are we supposed to protect the people more? If we do this, those people will probably die anyway. Yeah, why am I fucking surprised you were willing to kill 2 little children and a random civilian beforehand with no remorse whatsoever, so... Oh, and this is our choice. Whether we side with him or not. Well, I'll go with the option that I at least like first, and the top one, but... Although this one's probably gonna not end well. Let's side with Warren first. Ryan, despite his feelings, couldn't argue with his logic. Watched as he pressed the button that would end thousands of lives. Tremors shook the ground. Samara shivered, wondering how many people just died. Ryan, on the other hand, looked composed. Yep, that's good old Warren for you. Come on, let's help the other Guardians. Yeah, if none of them are fucking dead. Ryan felt sick. She followed him out of the base and looked up at the sky. A giant pillar of light blazed above Memoria. Ron looked grim but determined. Rushed back to the battlefield. I didn't feel quite as steady. Yeah, I don't blame Samar. So many monsters were running now, fleeing from the light. There were just so many, though they'd been dealt such a heavy blow, the number cut considerably. Too many of them to have existed in memory for days, let alone months, without notice. It was precisely the sort of scenario Samara had wanted to avoid. It's mass panic, and this much fear flooding the air. Is there any wonder that humans were able to be turned into monsters? Mara, a place she loved and bound herself to protect, becoming living hell. Reminded her of the stories from the older days, when Eislyns first came. The existence of Nightmare was once known to all, the reason for the establishment of the Guardians of Memoria. Beginning, despite knowing Nightmare could not enter, citizens of Memoria lived in fear. Despite Eislyns' assurances, fear grew and grew until Nightmare was able to twist it to his own desires. Create illusions of giant beasts clawing at barriers around the city, hounds howling at the gates, heightening the fear until he was able to use it to create creatures that could enter Memoria. Eislyns quickly put a stop to it, but took a great deal of energy and had quite a toll on her. In order to prevent such a thing from happening again, everyone agreed not to tell the next generation about Nightmare, except for a small group of Guardians, for whom the tale would be passed down through the ages. Should the Guardians die without any heirs, or lose track of their heritage for any reason, Eislyns would select and train them herself through dreams. And so peace reigned for centuries, but now, with every swing of her light bearer, Samara was ending the life of a human who loved Memoria. Someone who had come to this place to share in its peace. True Memoria was turning into a nightmare before their very eyes. Samara gritted her teeth. She was not going to let it end like this. Those they had lost for those who had remained in Memoria. For Eislyns, for the Guardians who still fought at her side. She should fight until the end. Oh great, this fucker's still alive. Of course he is. Did you really think we'd planned to let any humans survive? Though Memoria is our main target, the entire world will soon be under Father's rule. I think our deserves a replacement sacrifice, don't you think? Actually, never mind, I am glad that we get to that he's still alive so he can get to see this, because fuck yeah, he gets to be a sacrifice instead. You can't do this. Started to back out towards the tunnel. He heard low mocking growls. Eyes lit up in the darkness. And all the tunnels surrounded an insidious base. Well, they absolutely can do it. He was completely surrounded. Thorn gritted his teeth. He hadn't expected the monsters to betray him like this. Like you betrayed your own kind. Oh, boo-hoo. Go cry in a corner. But he always prepared for the unexpected. He reached into his pocket and grabbed out a small container, drew it as far away from himself as he could, and then opened it. The whole area turned to searing light. Pale flames leapt all over the walls, the ceiling and floor. Thunder blasted intermingled with the screams of dying monsters. Son of a bitch. God damn it. Also blinded Thorn, he stumbled back through the excruciating line into the tunnel. Cackles split the air. Wow, that was impressive. Guess you aren't as stupid as I pegged you. Oh, I'm sure you'll be pegging him in just a second, won't you, Insidia? Please. What? How are you still alive? Cow dear, you're not hurt too badly, are you? I'll live. Good. Ready to eat? Gal grinned a wicked grin, showing his human form. I'm starving. Thorn screamed as Scowl grabbed him, and then, in darkness below Memoria, Thorn met his end. Fuck yeah, let's go! I like how I'm liking the monsters more than I'm liking humans like Warren and Thorn. There weren't as many monsters left now. The ones that remained, though, were stronger and smarter. They weren't nearly created monsters. Guardians agreed that the only way to save the people of Memoria that had been corrupted by Normia was to help them escape the city using the underground tunnels that connected the Guardians' meeting places. Guardians spread out into small groups in order to round up the civilians. We can now confirm that most of the monsters in the wave were previously humans. It seems the disease spread by the corrupted healing gun had the ability to amplify people's fear, allow them to be possessed by Normia. I see. As long as none of the other guns were corrupted, may have a chance to prevent most of the citizens of Memoria facing the same fate. Human monsters. Got to go. Not again, Samara thought. What are you thinking, Warren? Got a hunch. Kids at the orphanage were talking about someone odd. I mean, the 9-girl orphanage? Oh, great, they're going after the kid. But I don't know what she's gonna be like, because we never met up with her, so... Need to check something out. I watched him run off once again. I'm not sure whether or not to be glad that this some lead of his. He understood why he made the choice to incinerate part of Memoria, but she knew it helped turn the tide of the battle. Still, she didn't like that he had made such an important move all on his own. He wasn't sharing his thoughts now either. He was worried that he might be going rogue. In his mind, he might be willing to try anything to beat Nortimir, regardless of any consequences, and regardless of how many people die. Then again, Samara thought, since we're fighting to save the human race, that might be the right approach to take. Regardless, she didn't have time to constantly run after him and watch him. Mara and a few other guardians escorted some terrified citizens on the ground. When they reached an intersection, they heard a loud noise, like an explosion, coming from the right corridor. Oh my god, we can't catch a break, can we? Shouts started to echo down the tunnels. We should go this way and help them. No, you have to get these citizens to safety first. I put a hand on the Guardian's shoulder. The Guardian turned to face her. Samara noticed that his eyes were dilated. Be alright. She tried to say it a soothing way, but the Guardian simply looked confused. We can go help with the others, so why don't you guys finish escorting the civilians? Right, good luck. She assumed the Guardian had been scared, either from the cells or the Guardians further in. His voice sounded calm. All the other Guardians took the left corridor towards the shelter. That felt odd, Samara thought. Is he going to turn into a monster and gobble up all the civilians? Ah, shit. Took the right path towards the sound of the commotion. Sounds got louder. She noticed the wall near her shaking. Monster burst out of it, sending bricks flying. Oh, hello again. We meet again. But you've gotten stronger. Yeah, that must have been some meal or thorn. Samara activated Light Bearer as the metallic monster started to laugh. Wow, what do we have here? A stray. You know, busting into your base like this was almost too easy. It's a shame you silly humans can't see anything, even when it's right under your nose. I've been right beside you all this time. Laughed again and Samara lunged at her with a Light Bearer. With a quick whip of the metal cable, the monster blocked her attack and pushed it back. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, Samara, but that's not gonna work. Even something strong... Yeah, even strong light like the one Thorn used didn't put a dent in her, so... What the... That won't work on me. I've been carefully building up this body of mine, piece by piece, over the last few years. That which makes me my father's daughter is carefully encased in the darkness beneath layers and layers of metal. Even my eyes have become augmented with steel. Your light cannot reach me. Then I guess I had to cut it open. I yelled and charged. Once again the monster blocked her with an amused expression on her face. This time though, Samara concentrated her weapon's energy to one point. Managed to see her through a layer of metal. Whoa. Monster drew back the cable and laughed harder. How exhilarating. No one's ever thought of that before. Alas, it won't be enough to save you. Humans are so very weak. Even you Guardians. It's quite amusing to watch you struggle. Enough talk. Samara employed her new strategy to cutting any cable that came at her. She tried to press forward towards the monster's main body, but so many cables rushing all around her. I honestly don't understand why you Guardians are fighting so hard. After Cillian, like giving you and the rest of your kind plenty of time to escape. I wonder why you didn't leave Memoria when you had the chance. Samara scoffed. Destroying the Cillian would also mean they would destroy the Earth's primary defense against Normia. Did this monster honestly think she'd fall for that? Ah well, prepare to die. Metal cables sprung up all around her and they were quickly closing in. Samara cursed and then silenced, sliced through a pair and rolled through the opening just as they came crashing down in the spot she had been standing. Well, you really are a lot better than your fellow Guardians. You fought other Guardians? You aren't the first I've run down into here, that's for sure. Also appear to be listening to something far away. Well, playtime is over. I've got to get going. You've done very well. I hope you earn yourself a suitable death. monster cackled as she hurried down the dark tunnel at an alarming speed. Mara didn't waste any time, and she ran down the corridor and found a good deal of Guardians recovering from a recent battle. Is everyone alright? Got a couple of us, but we managed to beat them. If monsters are burrowing into the tunnels now, does that mean we can get to Eislyns? Even if they could, small monsters like this would just burn up in our presence. Trying to take away our last safe haven, need to speed up the evacuation. Both turned to look at another Guardian, running towards them. A perimeter of monsters set up around the city. Everyone who has tried to leave so far has been eaten. Perimeter? Monster said we could have left. She wanted people to run straight into their deaths. Samara thought, sadistic monsters. Yeah, it's just like just ordering food for them. Like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Need to breach the perimeter and get those people out. There's no safe place left in Aurora. Grab some of the weapons from the armory. Together we might be able to make a blast that's big enough to blow a hole in their defenses. Understood. All throughout the corridor she could hear screams from monsters. Samara wondered what in the world was happening. Then she noticed Warren had returned. Big smile on his face. That'd be a first. It is, Samara. Figure out their plan. What their plan was. Destroy the weapon they were going to use to kill Eislyns. Really? Good job, Warren. Oh, right, the kid. Rip to her, but they got a trick up their sleeve, I'm afraid to say. Samara smiled. Been starting to feel hopeless, but things were finally starting to turn around. Guys might win after all. But she quickly explained to Warren what was happening, and everyone gathered extra weapons from the armory. Began to move towards the surface, and while they were doing so, she noticed a few guys were acting weird. Here we go. One kept repeating the phrase over and over again with a serene look on his face, freaking out his friend. It looked like her eyes were starting to melt. A chill went down Samara's spine. She hadn't noticed it before with all the mayhem happening, but that feeling from before, when she was floating in darkness, shit. Slowly but surely creeping back into her mind, the unsettling feeling of being watched. Stop. I shouted as loud as she could. Fellow Guardians looked at her in puzzlement. Everyone, the Eislyns is too weak to protect us right now. You need to turn your light bearers on yourselves. Guardians did so, and some of them had pretty violent reactions. One of them even doubled over in pain. Mara did the same, of course, and felt a small pain in her head. Gone quickly, though. Remembered using light bearer light to sleep by last night, and realized she was fortunate. Mara gave a muffled gasp of pain. Samara noticed he looked shaky. How had not Maya been poisoning their bodies? Something must have been very weak right now. It had to move quickly. Right, we're almost there. We just need to get the citizens evacuated and then drive out the remaining monsters. Samara looked down at her now flickering light bearer. Guardian gasped as one by one their light bearers went out. Panic spread throughout their ranks. No, it's not possible. Mara's heart sank as she gripped her powerless light bearer. Guardian's power came from the Eislyns, so the power was gone. So was Eislyns. She looked up at the sky above. It started to crack. You could see those electric hands once again. This time they were tearing away by the invisible barrier guarding the warrior in chunks. They had lost. Destroyed their weapon. How could this be? A sudden ray of light emerged and the Guardian shouted as they ducked out of his path. White hands like the statue Hurat Memoria, but made of light, appeared. then fell down in a clear line across the city. Pale fire leaped at its sides. Cillian, he must have been using his last bit of strength to clear a path for them. Quickly, get everyone out of here. The rest of the Guardians went straight into action, but Warren was frozen to the spot. What could we lose? No point in thinking about that now. We had to save as many lives as we can. Mortimer. His eyes flashed. Take him down no matter what, with or without a Cillian. Run away from the light. Warren, your light bearer is useless now, you die. Plus, Warren, you're not fucking special. You're not gonna be able to take him down by yourself, okay? Left without heeding her warnings, he never saw him again. Path the Cillian had left for the people of Memoria lasted just long enough for them to escape. Didn't stop Nightmare from taking control of Memoria. Always rapid as spread as he slowly consumed the whole earth. It wasn't much, but the people of Memoria had been given time. A little bit of extra time to live, to say goodbye. A year's time, the others succumbed to Nightmare. The end. Yep. It still ends badly no matter what we do. It still ends the same way. But we still got one more ending to do, so we'll jump right back into it. You can keep up. Just moving my leg. You'll keep up. Like that once. Okay, now we're actually stopping him. No. Samara shouted as she ran towards him. She pushed him to get him away from the button, but he already pushed it. Well, what was the fucking point in doing that then? Like, seriously? Someone shook the ground. Samara shivered, wondering how many people just died. Ryan, on the other hand, looked at her with disgust. Why did you do that? You don't trust me at all, do you? Warren. Warren felt sick, but Warren simply brushed it past her and left the room. Yep, that's Warren, alright. Suddenly, Samara followed him out of the base and looked up at the sky. A giant pillar of light blazed above Memora. Warren seemed unfazed. Samara started to follow Warren back towards the fray, but she was pulled back into her own memories. Ooh, we're getting a flashback. Okay, so this is actually very different. Okay, I was expecting kind of the same stuff anyway, seeing as the thing still went off and multiple people died. Samara wasn't born in Memora. She was born in a faraway town. Parents were guardians that had left Memora. As she grew older, she began to dream of Memora. First, she had no idea why it was happening. Why did she feel that she needed to find this place in a dream so badly? Was she going crazy? Thankfully, when she finally spoke to her parents about it, they recognized what it was immediately. The call was Cillian. Apparently, all prospective guardians felt this call, pulled to a specific place in Memora. They hadn't realized that someone who had been born and lived beyond the borders of Memora would feel it. They explained to her that it meant to be a guardian. Parents themselves didn't want to return to Memora. They left for a reason, after all. Pursued dreams of their own. So they decided to let her stay with a relative that still lived in Memora. Test the waters, see if that was what she wanted. She saw Memora for the first time. She thought it was the most beautiful and peaceful place on earth. And it felt like a piece of herself that she didn't even know had been missing finally fell into place. She pledged herself to Memora and a Cillian, then and there. Samara ended up staying in a house near another guardian. His name was Warren. followed him around and trained with him. With all the things he could do, she thought he was the coolest person ever. Look where he's gone now. Though they were the same age, she really looked up to him. As she grew up, she worked hard at her training, her education volunteering to make Memora an even better place. Soon she was on equal footing with Warren. It wasn't that much for Guardians to do most of the time, except keep up with their training and watch the city. Manifestations and nightmares were rare, dealt with swiftly on the outskirts of the city. Warren and Samara liked to talk strategy with dealing with monsters, so they walked to school. One day I want to take down Nightmare for good. Samara agreed with him. She wanted a future where Moro wouldn't always be under the threat of darkness. For most Guardians, their guardianship was a secondary thing. Tasks they completed for the sake of the city they loved. Warren and Samara was a way of life. It was the primary subject of most of their conversations. They were spent the majority of the time on. Looking back on those memories, she realized how badly Warren had always wanted to be a hero. And then back here again. Screenshots through the air. Samara, who had been vaguely walking towards the battlefield, snapped her head around to see what was going on. The man, a civilian, was running with a dozen monsters chasing after him. Oh, you motherfucker, you're still alive. This route, goddammit. Samara recognized him from some pictures she had been shown yesterday. It was Mr. Thorne. Snapping into action, Samara dashed over to him and shouted for him to duck. No, please, for the love of God, don't save him. Let me savor this moment of him being chased around like a Scooby-Doo scene. Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious to see. Quickly struck out the monsters following him with a light bearer. Those that she missed chittered angrily and tried to surround Thorne and Samara. You're one of the Guardians, aren't you? Samara didn't have time to respond. Unlike the monsters at the factory, those things knew what they were doing. They were determined to kill. Yet please let them kill at least this guy. Coordinated their attack. Lightbearer singeing their skin as she blocked them. One of them leaped at Thorne and bit his arm. Thorne yelled and shook it off him. Samara quickly let out a burst of light with the Lightbearer, causing the monster to flinch back and pushed Thorne out of the circle. Run, quick. Thorne didn't question her. She ran down the street and she stood between him and the pursuing monsters. Some quick swings of her sword claimed two more of them, looked at one another warily. Samara guessed they hadn't expected to run into someone quite so skilled. Backed off, heading down a side street. Samara turned and quickly ran after Thorne. It didn't take her long to catch up with him, considering he was nervously looking down each prospective path to see if there were any more monsters nearby. Under arrest, I hope you know. Thorne seemed resigned to it. He started walking, Samara gripping his arm so he wouldn't run away. Not that he seemed to want to. Kept cursing names of what Samara believed must be two monsters. If there was any doubt about Thorne being involved with the monsters before, it was cleared away now. Samara felt angry yet curious. Guardians seemed to have made some headway with the monsters. Most of them were dead or fleeing from the light. Guardians were shouting to each other and hunting them down. Samara escorted Thorne to a holding cell in the police station. Even the cells were mostly empty. There were a couple of officers there and a guardian. They explained to Samara that it wasn't safe to hold prisoners here, that they were trying to evacuate the city. Samara explained who the prisoner was and why she had to question him, and decided to give her a few minutes. Sat down on a stool in front of his cell. Strange to think just yesterday she had done this with Jared Vaughn. Hopefully he was well out of the city by now. Want to tell me what happened? That monster betrayed me. I waited for him to continue. And of course we're now going to his side of the story. Thorn stared into the darkness of the cell. Honestly, he of all people should have seen this coming. He was a liar and a crook after all. How could he not see how the monsters had been deceiving him? That was it, wasn't it? So badly wanted to believe. Dreams are the killers of reality, and reality the killer of dreams. There's no secret that Memora was a special place. The ground was incredibly fertile, so much so that it was much more difficult to fail at raising crops than it was to succeed. Fathers within the city limits promoted healing to an almost supernatural degree. Veins of ore in the nearby mountains were incredibly rich and seemed to never run out. The air always smelled clean, even in the industrial parts of the city. With crime being extremely low as well as it was an ideal place to live, Thorn, despite being a successful criminal, was drawn to it as well, and long wanted to know the secrets behind this perfect city. After researching Memora for a while, he started to believe this mysterious being known as Cillian might actually exist. There were some fairy tales surrounding her, most of which spoke of her as being a human, or someone who looked human at least. But there were some older texts that referred to her as something grander, called her a being that came from beyond the stars. The more he looked into it, the more he was entranced. If there really was an alien celestial being residing under Memora, and this being had a power to make a utopia on Earth, what could that power be capable of in human hands? I began to obsess over the idea. There's something unknown, mysterious, first bit of magic that Thorn had ever believed in, dreamed of harnessing the power, shaping it to his will. Then one day he obtained a chance to act on his dream. Thorn went out into the city side one night. He couldn't explain why, but he felt drawn to go there. At night beneath an endless expanse of stars. He felt something watching him. It made him feel breathless, exhilarated. Something was there, in the ever darkness high above, yet focused solely on him. It spoke to the depths of his mind. It would help him get what he wanted. Thorn would be able to transfer the power of the being known as Cillian into a form that human beings could use. In exchange, it asked for his help in building an army of its own kind, so that it could take over Memora, wrestle it from the control of Cillian. Since the plan benefited them both, Thorn agreed. He was excited to see what would happen. So a tiny creature appeared in the field before him. Thorn picked it up and was told its name was Gal. Thorn raised the creature, feeding it children so that it might grow. Eventually he moved to Memora, once he had purchased the steelworks factory. There, below the factory, Gal helped him distill bits and pieces of Cillian's power, bind it into a unique mixture of metals and chemicals that could hold it. Gal promised that, in time, the city was under the control of the monsters he was creating. They would be able to convert all the power Cillian had instead of just those tidbits. And so they bided their time. Oh great, we're getting to despair now. What are we in, fucking Danganronpa? I mean, I know Junko would be very much enjoying this whole scenario. Accomplice Miss Nightmare was also working with the creature from beyond our world. She had a vendetta against the people of Memora for some reason. Once I arrived, she helped supply Gal with children. Monsters tricked us. Thought they simply wanted Memora, but they wanted all of humanity dead. Killed Mrs. Nungale, and they tried to kill me. I managed to escape using a tiny bit of power I had taken from the being known as a Eislyns. I kept it with me as a precaution, thankfully. We need to get out of the city as soon as possible. Monsters have been planning this attack for many years. Samara's head hurt. She had been worried about the invasion having started months ago, but years? It really had been no from the start. Must have been why Eislyns felt weak. Someone in this monster had been stealing her energy, her light. Samara heard footsteps approaching the cell. I know, we need to leave. Turned her head and saw Warren standing there. Her mouth opened slightly in surprise, and then she closed it. Warren, can you help us get this prison to the... That word, Warren drew his gun and shot on like it. Of course he would. I mean, I'm happy to see the bastard get a bullet to the head. Not complaining about that, but of course it'd be Warren who would be doing it. He was a cold-hearted fucking killer. Warren stood speechless as his body hit the floor. Warren kept walking. What? Warren? What? Where are you going? What do you think? Going to destroy that wretch of a child? What? It wasn't like him. He wasn't making any sense. Was he really getting ready to kill a child? Oh yeah, he's killed like a couple of them so far. Potentially more. Who knows how many people he's killed? He's probably killed at least 100 just with that bomb alone. The look on his face chilled her. It seemed distant somehow. Was this really the Warren she knew and loved? She gritted her teeth. What's wrong with you? First to kill a man before hearing his side, now this? Come to your senses, Warren. You're the one that needs to come to your senses. What does it matter? No man is like a god. Do you think it cares about a few lives? Do you think it would let that stand in its way? It's immortal and endlessly destructive. If we don't stop it here, it will be the end for all of us. The thing came from the stars. It's a god. History will call me the God Slayer. Oh, your face isn't looking too good, Warren. You might need to do a little something with it. He spoke these words, his face started to melt and morph. Samara took a step back, confused and frightened. You think a few people are going to stop me with my destiny? Who cares what it takes? I shall slay the god. Warren? Didn't look human anymore. Samara gasped and covered her face with her hands. Tears started to fall down her cheeks. Her face was blazing with burning holes. They were directed at her. Nothing is going to stop me, nor even you. He lunged at her. She dodged it easily, adrenaline coursing through her now. Warren, please, you're losing yourself. It's no use. He continues to lunge for her. Attacks are getting quicker and quicker as he got used to his new form. The form of a monster. Not you. Samara sobbed. There was almost no delay between his attacks now. Very soon he would be faster than her. I'm sorry. Crane resounded heavily in the air. A thump, a bright light faded. Samara fell to her knees and wept in the darkness. Bright red liquid spread across the floor. Slowly tremors started to shake the ground. The days none of this is feeling real as Samara left the station. Above there was a bright night sky, a green moon dripping acid. The monsters soon looked up in awe at the light. She could see the other guardians, those who fought hard beside her to save the people of Memora. Turned twisted and melted as madness descended on the city. The darkness came again. Samara didn't feel like fighting anymore. The end. Holy mother of fucked up endings. But I'm so glad we ended on that one. That gave us a lot more inside information as to what was going on. But holy mother of God. Yeah. All the other endings ended in madness. My God, this one ended in a lot more bloodshed. Final story unlocked. Where do I find this final story? I thought I was finally done with this, but I guess not.